The video you are about to see is a training guide, which will teach you how to operate the ACE Core Orientation Tool. The ACE Core Tool, ACT, is a fully electronic core orientation device for use in diamond exploration drilling. The ACT has been specifically designed to orientate accurately and consistently in soft and broken ground, without the need to alter the driller's existing drilling technique. Because the tool orientates while drilling is taking place, there is no need to stop drilling to orientate. The benefits that you will achieve by using the ACT are more meters drilled, consistently accurate orientation data, reduced costs of use, high quality mine planning data in and out of the ore body. This video will teach you how to prepare the barrel for operation of the ACT, how to include the ACT into the inner tube, how to arm the ACT before use, and most importantly, how to retrieve accurate and consistent orientations. Firstly, we will demonstrate how to prepare the barrel for use. A standard diamond drilling barrel assembly may consist of the following: a locking coupling, a back-end reamer or adapter coupling, a standard or hex drilling barrel, the front-end reamer, the diamond drilling bit. The supplied barrel extension can be fitted to the rear of the drilling barrel between the back-end reamer and drilling barrel, or at the front of the drilling barrel between the front-end reamer and drilling barrel. To install the barrel extension to the back of the drilling barrel, you must remove the back-end reamer from the drilling barrel. When installing the barrel extension to the rear, remember to remove the landing ring from the drilling barrel and place it in the supplied barrel extension. Once the landing ring has been placed in the barrel extension, it can now be screwed into the rear of the drilling barrel. The back-end reamer and locking coupling can now be screwed into the barrel extension. Tighten the drilling barrel as per your normal drilling practice. The drilling barrel is now ready for drilling. To install the barrel extension to the front of the drilling barrel, remove the front-end reamer and drill bit from the drilling barrel. Install the barrel extension to the front of the drilling barrel. Refit the front-end reamer and drill bit to the barrel extension and tighten as per your normal drilling practice. The drilling barrel is now ready for drilling. When using the ACE Core tool to drill PQ, the barrel extension can only be placed at the front of the drilling barrel. To prepare the inner tube back-end assembly for the ACT, follow these steps. Remove the inner tube back-end assembly from the inner tube grease cap. Next, remove the inner tube grease cap from the inner tube and put it in a safe place, as it is no longer required for drilling operations while the ACT is being used. Fit the supplied grease cap extension to the back-end assembly. Tighten as per your normal drilling practice. This will now perform the greasing function to the back-end assembly. We are now ready to insert the ACT to the inner tube. The ACE Core tool can now be attached to the inner tube and tightened as per normal drilling practice. The ACT is pressure rated to 3,500 metres. And in order to maintain this rating, the O-rings will require inspection after each drilling run. Replace worn or damaged O-rings as required using the supplied spares and keep lubricated with the supplied lubricant. The LCD face panel is water resistant only and should not be immersed into water without being connected to the back end grease cap extension. Like all orientation systems, the ACE Core tool must be armed before use. If the ACT is not armed, no new orientation information will be recorded. To arm the ACT, simply press and hold down the N key until 3/8 appear on the screen. Once the 3/8 appear on the screen, the stopwatch should be started immediately. Place the stopwatch in a safe place. Once the ACT is armed, the prepared back-end assembly can now be attached to the ACT and tightened as per your normal drilling practice. The inner tube assembly can now be run into the drilling rod string by either of the following methods: using the dry release method or by dropping from the surface. The inner tube can now be pumped down as per your normal drilling practice. At the end of the drilling run and before retrieval of the inner tube, the following method should be used: stop thrust and rotation, View the stopwatch and wait for the next full minute. Allow an extra 5 to 10 seconds to cover any delay that may have occurred when the ACT was armed before the drill run commenced. Record this final minute reading for orientation retrieval. The bottom hole assembly can now be pulled off bottom and the core broken. The inner tube can now be retrieved. Remove back-end assembly from the ACT to expose the face panel. Do not remove the ACT from the inner tube yet. To retrieve the orientation, press the R button once. 3 zeros will appear. The tool is asking for the final minute of the drilling run. Enter the final minute into the ACT by pressing the plus button. If you go past the required minute, simply press the minus button to decrease the minutes. Once you have entered the final minute reading, press the R button once more. Rotating bars will appear. These indicate the direction the inner tube is to be rotated in order to reach the bottom of hole position. As you approach the bottom of hole orientation, the bars will slow down. Upon reaching the bottom hole orientation, a full square will appear on the face panel. If you rotate past the bottom of hole orientation, the bars will change direction, indicating you must now rotate the inner tube in the opposite direction to reach a full square and bottom hole orientation. With the formation of a full square on the display panel, the bottom of hole orientation is now achieved. The inner tube will now be lying horizontally with the bottom of the hole facing the ground. The core can now be marked. To transfer bottom hole orientation to the core, place the provided marking jig underneath the core lifter case. Ensure the bubble is between the black vertical lines, which indicates the marking jig is level. Place the marking pencil into the V-groove of the marking jig and place a mark on the bottom of the core. Bottom hole orientation has now been transferred to the core and the ACT can be removed from the inner tube and the inner tube emptied. If an inner break is present or the core could be damaged during removal, the following method should be used. As previously shown with an outer break, mark the core and lifter case, then remove the lifter case from the inner tube. Using a straight edge, transfer the orientation to the inside section of core. The orientation is now protected. Screw the lifter case back onto the inner tube and empty as per normal method. Contact Ace Drilling Supplies for your nearest ACT stockist.